Welcome, brothers and sisters, to today's Morning Heart Devotion. And to start off, let us offer greetings to our Heavenly Parent and True Parents. 천징 참포님께 경배 바로. And to lead us into the family pledge, I would like to invite up Reverend Milhan Stevens.
가정맹세 1. 천혜의극 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 번향 땅을 찾아 번연의 창조의 상인 지상 천국과 천상 천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 천혜의극 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국계에서는 중심, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 천혜의극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과 황족권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 천혜의극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조의 상인 천주대 가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 천혜의극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 매일 주제적 전상세계와 대상적 지상세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진화할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 천혜의극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님의 대신 가정으로서 천운을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 천혜의극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심정문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 천혜의극 주인 우리 가정은 참사랑을 중심하고 천혜의극 시대를 맞이하여 절대신앙, 절대사랑, 절대복종으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상천국과 천상천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Thank you, Reverend Milhan. And to open us up in prayer, I'd like to invite up the president of WFWP, Mrs. Angelica Sully. Oh, please unmute yourself. Yes.
Good morning, our beloved Heavenly Parent. We greet also our true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind this morning. On this 22nd of August 2021 here in North America and in the world, together with brothers and sisters, Dr. Yong, and with our ancestors, in fact, who are joining us every morning to listen to the amazing teachings of our true parents. Finally, we have received the answers to all the questions that humanity had for thousands of years. We're finally coming into the light from the darkness. We're grateful that we were chosen, we were called, that we were given this privilege to be here at this time. Please let us listen carefully this morning again to the morning message so we can adjust and align ourselves and cleanse ourselves every morning, become better and better and purer vessels for you, Heavenly Parent. True sons and true daughters we want to become, heavenly sons and heavenly daughters and heavenly families and heavenly nations, Heavenly Parent. Your nation is about to be born. We feel the birth pangs that we're all going through. So many challenges are coming, but they're nothing but the preparation for something amazing, incredible. Heaven's glory will be shown and will be seen through all of us. I pray we can be patient with ourselves. We can forgive ourselves, we forgive one another. We can just really go through this process with gratitude. And we want to offer you this morning session together with Dr. Yong, our beloved Continental Director here in the United States and North America. And we report in the name of our Blessed Central families, also Bob and Angelica Sally, Blessed Central family, Aju.
Aju. Thank you, Angelica Sally. And also, thank you so much for your really, really hard work, Women Federation for World Peace. By the way, where is Robert Sally? Okay. Thank you so much. 감사합니다. Wow, thank you, Robert.
Thank you so much, President Sally. And with that, brothers and sisters, let's open up in gratitude. So we'll be take this time to share our gratitude points. And also, if you are in breakouts, and if you're joining here by yourself, please take this time to reflect on what you are grateful for. So with that, let us go into our breakouts. Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I hope you had a wonderful time sharing with each other your appreciation points for today. And to be able to share with everybody, I'd like to first invite up the Saunders couple. So Mr. and Mrs. Saunders, if you can please unmute yourself and share.
I was saying I'm very grateful for the spirit world and especially our church's teachings about the spirit world, because it's a reality that it's a deep reality that most people, and I think other churches, don't emphasize enough. Like yesterday, there was an ancestral liberation ceremony, and it's wonderful that through prayer and effort and actions, we can love and help redeem and resurrect those who have gone before us. I think in most people's philosophies, they're just gone, and they're not gone. They're alive, and we owe them something. So
please show your face more.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Our camera is
such a
very good.
beautiful face. Wow. Thank you so much. Okay, now go to Ellen.
Okay, good morning, Dr. Yong. Yeah, I can feel that there's a revival happening in America. We were talking in the breakout that Mrs. Rangala mentioned that we have to not only just theorize about a truth, but we actually really need to live it. And I'm very grateful for Dr. Yong's efforts. I'm grateful for everybody showing up here every morning. And I'm especially amazed at what's happening in Emmanuel's life to come closer to God again, but to experience community. And many of the young people are looking for community, and people in general, they're looking for a community of love and of care.
Yeah.
And a lot of the BCs, they even get together just to play games so that they can experience that community. And I think the other thing that is happening is the ACLC ministers and the ambassadors for peace and the women that are coming through Women's Fed, they're all connected to that, and they're connecting to the spirit, and then they see the international, interracial families, and they want to be part of all that, because most churches are very segregated. Not all, but many are very segregated. And I think there is a huge revival that's going on in America now, and I think the foundation of that are these morning services, and the effort that Dr. Yong is making every morning to get up and prepare. So I think amazing things are happening, and we have to just keep moving forward.
Thank you, Alan Sanders. I am really, really happy to see your boy, second generation, sometimes up here and sharing his internal reflection. Wow. How often, the Ellen, you are how much lucky guy. You have a beautiful son and beautiful wife. Wow, you are a lucky man. Thank you so much for your sharing.
You're very welcome. My ancestors must have done something, Dr. Yong.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Saunders couple. Oh, beautiful sharing. And also to share next, I'd like to invite up Mr. Steve Honey. So Mr. Honey, if you can please unmute yourself at this time.
Hey, good morning, Dr. Yong. Good morning, brothers and sisters.
Steve Honey, hallelujah.
That's it. That's all I have to share. Thank you. Great testimony by the Saunders couple. That's inspiring. I'm grateful for two things. One is just a consistent reminder from Dr. Yong about connecting with God's heart, because that's underneath everything else, all the decisions we make.
Right.
The do it or don't do it. That's one simple slogan is such a simple way to remember it. So, but if I love God and God loves me, I don't want to disappoint God. But then also, I'm grateful because earlier this week, Dr. Yong was having us read sections of True Mother's memoir about performing arts, about the ballet and about Little Angels.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm a performing arts guy, so I value that a lot.
Oh, right, yeah.
But a short story, Little Angels, in 1967, Little Angels came to my hometown in Delaware.
Oh.
and they were touring America. And instead of putting them in hotels, they looked for, through like Girl Scouts and other groups, they looked for homes for these girls to stay in. So in 1967, two little angels stayed at my house.
Wow.
That was really wonderful.
Wow.
I was 14, they were 11. And years later at Belvedere, I was introduced to young ladies. She's was Little Angels. I saw her. I said, "Were you in America in 1967?" Yeah. So I went to my mother's storage room, and there's a picture of her sitting on my shoulders.
Wow.
I was 14. She was 11 years old, and she's old Haja. She worked at East Garden. Yeah. So that's my special. Before I met the church, I had my special connection with the Little Angels.
Wow, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Sir Steve Honey. Today, your beautiful sharing. 감사합니다.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Honey. And brothers and sisters, all of our appreciation points are beautiful sharing. So let's continue to be grateful each and every moment. And now for the main internal guidance for this morning heart devotion today, please help me welcome up our Continental Director, Dr. Chunshik Yong. Good morning, Dr. Yong.
네. 안녕하세요. Good morning. Good morning. My dear brothers and sisters, clergy, and ambassador for peace. 안녕하십니까? Today is a beautiful Sunday. Today I'm going to go to Clifton Church. After breakfast, I will be there. Today, I'd like to talk about media again. Media expressing universal values. The media should be the beacon of the times. So I'd like to invite Heavenly Honey. Please read.
In early 1981, when my husband and I heard that the Washington Star, the conservative voice in Washington, D.C., was closing down, we were concerned. There were two well-established newspapers in that city, the Washington Star and the Washington Post. The Washington Star, which had been in operation for over 130 years, had run into financial difficulties. Soon, there would be only one newspaper in the most politically powerful city of the United States. And that newspaper, the Washington Post, was left-leaning in its editorial stance. There was a need for a newspaper in Washington that would protect faith, freedom, and family values. And no American conservatives were willing to step into the breach. When my husband and I decided to take this on, people trying to be prudent and wise told us again and again that it would be difficult to publish a new newspaper in the capital of the United States. We had never shied away from a task because it was difficult, and we didn't then. On May 17th, 1982, after a great deal of effort to find a building and printing presses and hire competent, dedicated staff, the first issue of the Washington Times was published. Opponents said the Washington Times would be a propaganda instrument for the Unification Church, but such words reflected prejudice. It is difficult these days to run a newspaper at a profit, and the Washington Times lost money from the outset, yet its absence would leave no conservative newspaper in the US Capitol. It would mean the newspaper that championed faith and family would have disappeared. Seeing the financial spreadsheets, people wondered, how long until they closed down? Nonetheless, the more they doubted us, the greater was my husband's and my faith, and the greater was the commitment of the Washington Times staff. Together with them, we resolutely defended democracy while advocating family values, morality, and the role of women. As a result, the newspaper's popularity grew. Every year, the paper did better, and now in the age of the internet, it is one of the most influential newspapers in the United States. At a banquet to commemorate the 15th anniversary of the newspaper's founding, we received congratulatory messages from well-known leaders worldwide. Former US President Ronald Reagan let people know that we played a key role in defeating communism when he said of the newspaper, "Like me, you arrived in Washington at the beginning of the most momentous decade of the century. Together, we rolled up our sleeves and got to work. And, oh yes, we won the Cold War." Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher of the United Kingdom also expressed her gratitude. She sent greetings saying, "In difficult times, even more than in easy ones, the voice of conservatism must make itself heard in the media. It isn't always easy, but of this we can be sure. While the Washington Times is alive and well, conservative views will never be drowned out. The Washington Times is influential, yet it is not a newspaper appealing only to the elite. It represents all people and inspires citizens to live decent and healthy everyday lives. The Washington Times has established itself as a voice of truth for people all over the world."
Thank you, Heavenly Honey. Then, Mother talking about the newspaper, the role of the media, and also talking about Washington, the Times. And then let's study through Father's word, how he deal with the media matter. And yesterday I shared very, very important and crucial content, the role of the media yesterday. And today, let's study again through Father's word. Please, Heavenly Honey, read.
The direction of media in a global age. Because electronic communications technology is bringing the world together in this way, economic and cultural exchanges have already entered an age without borders. The age has arrived when all of the world's citizens influence one another's lives. The economy of any particular country or region cannot but be influenced by the world economic situation. For these reasons, we need to think of the world as constituting a single community. We have to pose the question, what must be the content and form of the media in a global age? First, I think the media in a global age needs to move beyond functional journalism and toward value journalism. The news media do not entirely fulfill their mission by simply giving their audiences a factual account of the news. Rather, through commentary and criticism, the media have to awaken their readers and viewers to an awareness of truth and lead the way in elevating society's spiritual and moral values.
Wow, this is a really incredible Father's explanation, the role of the media. Because of these days, because of the electronic communications technology, is bringing the world together in this way. Economic and cultural exchanges have already entered an age without borders. For these reasons, we need to think of the world as constituting a single community. God's providence develops from as you know, my brothers and sisters, God's providence develops from the external to the internal, and from the internal to more internal. Now there is only one thing left to do is to create a world of culture with one heart. Already God's providence. Look, you can see now, now everything is all connecting and together. And then, because of the electronic about the communication technology, now is bringing all together in this way. Already external condition already fulfilled. God's providence always start from the external, start from the environmental restoration, and then become internal, and then become more internal. So now already globally become, one world, one family. So now what's the final our task? Father mentioned very clearly, there is only one thing left to do is to create a world of culture with one heart. That's why all media now need to really focus on more internal things, which is to create world of culture with one heart. And the media in a global age should move beyond functional journalism toward value journalism. What yesterday Father already talking about what the value journalism. Here, value journalism refers to true filial piety, morality, and the value of the heart, the value of the true family, the true country, worldview, and the world of true peace. That's why I think media need to really focus on this area. That's why Father talking about, the system of the 천일국 government need to have the five power. We already mentioned, and the 3 power, and including power of the business and also power of the media. Wow. The media should be the educational institution, Father said. The news media do not, entirely fulfill their mission by simply giving their, audience or factual account of the news, rather through the commentary and criticism. What is right? What is wrong? Which way need to go? Need to give clear direction to the people. Then people can judge. That's why media go wrong way, then entire nation and people go wrong way. That's why the standard of the media, the standard of the moralism is very, very important. How lead the people? The media have to awaken their readers and viewers to an awareness of the truth and lead the way in elevating society and spiritual and moral values. And then media's problem is always become really commercializing, become materialistic, and then promoting all kind of the, chapter 2 culture. This is really the problem everywhere. Therefore, the media should embody the idea of the extended human family in the era of the global village. As you know, my brothers, now is the era of the global village, even externally, even now internally, everywhere, all connecting together. The ultimate goal of the media is to create one family under God. Therefore, the media should be the conscience, morals, and then compass of the society and each time. Once again, Father, yesterday said very clearly, therefore, the media should be the conscience and morals and the compass of that society and nation and each times. Wow, what the role of the media. That's why I really appreciate Father create 세계 니보 and 세계 일보, and also he created Washington Times. Very, very important about the role. And then our Washington Times, 세계 니보, 세계 일보, we are really doing or not according to our true parents' guidance. Okay, read again.
Media should have a global perspective. In the global information age of the 21st century, the citizens of different nations will exercise tremendous influence on one another across international boundaries. Thus, the immoral aspects of any one major country's culture can easily have a negative influence on other countries. The coming of the information age, which itself is a result of advances in industries that apply communication and information technologies, is the fundamental factor hastening us into a world in which information is shared by all humankind. In such a world, merely reporting the facts of the news will be much too elementary. It will be an important role of the media to determine how to interpret and evaluate the facts, and thus provide the direction in which the audience is guided. Here, it is important to examine the worldview, philosophy, and historical outlook held by media organizations and journalists themselves. In other words, it will be necessary for journalists to share positive and idealistic values regarding humanity and world peace and prosperity. Thus, we should have a global perspective. If the kind of media that satisfies people's base desires and interests from purely commercial motives sets the trend, then the world will become an even more gloomy and unhappy place in the 21st century.
Wow, very important guidance. The media will be necessary for journalists to share positive and idealistic values regarding humanity and world peace and prosperity. But now digital the media is a completely opposite way. They don't want to share about the positive news. They really focus on negative news. And then which politician is wrong, which society is this kind of really, completely they go opposite way. If you are put the positive news, nobody buy the newspaper. Nobody interested in that. But on the heavenly way is opposite. You need to share positive news. What the good relationship with the government, with people and brothers and sisters. You need to put such a kind of the positive news and idealistic values regarding humanity and world peace and prosperity. The media should have a global perspective. This is very, very important. The media should have a global perspective, not centering on your own nationalism, not centering on your own society. So what is a global perspective? It means God's perspective centered on the universal values. If the kind of the media that satisfies people's basic desires and the interests from the purely commercial motives set the trend, then the world will become an even more gloomy and unhappy place in the 21st century. Oh, Father, really. If we just follow the Father's direction, I think, our newspaper cannot become a popular newspaper. Anyway, that is a Father's perspective. This is a global perspective. This is God's perspective. Okay, let's study more of the media.
The most fundamental and dangerous problem in the 21st century. Now that the East-West Cold War has ended and scientific technology is advancing day by day so that the world can grow into a single community, Do you think that humankind will automatically live in peace and happiness? Absolutely not. During the 21st century, human society will face issues even more fundamental and even more dangerous than those of the Cold War. According to what I have perceived, the most serious problem to beset humankind in the future world will be the issue of immorality and moral decadence, destroying family values. Moral decadence is truly the original sin that pushes humanity into the abyss of suffering and despair. Whether the world of the future will resemble heaven or hell will be determined by whether we can establish a moral code that sustains the purity of the family and protects family values. Is it possible that issues faced in common by many countries throughout the world, such as the moral decline of young people, endless drug-related crime, increases in divorce, family breakdown, AIDS, and sexual crimes can be resolved by means of political power? Until now, we have been unable to resolve these problems, even through education in school or religious instruction.
Thank you, Heavenly Honey. Father said, during the 21st century, human society will face issues even more fundamental and even more dangerous than those of the Cold War. The Cold War is like of course there is an issue, but which one is more dangerous? Father said, the most serious problem and to beset humankind in the future world will be the issue of the immorality. Wow. And moral decadence, destroying the family values. The final fight is against the fornication culture, my brothers and sisters, and drugs and home destruction. The fight against adultery is like a World War III. Do you know what is World War III? World War II is nothing. Really, Satan want to destroy through the adulterous culture. This is the really now serious issue everywhere. The final fight against the fornication culture. This is the really challenging. That's why Father say media need to fight with this kind of the terrible adulterous culture. This is the World War III. World War III. Moral declining is truly the original sin that pushes humanity into the abyss of suffering and despair. Whether the world of the future will resemble heaven or hell will be determined by whether we can establish a moral code that sustains the purity of the family and protects the family values. Issues faced in common by many countries throughout the world, such as the moral decline of the young people, endless drug related to the crime, increase in divorce, family breakdown, AIDS, and sexual crimes cannot be resolved by political power or current school and religious instructions. That's why Father said media have to be an educational institution. Educational institution. However, these days, most of the media promoting that kind of the satanic culture. Of course, not everything, but many newspapers, even when I look at any magazines and media, really terrible. That's why I'm really agree with the Father's word. Chapter 2 culture is like now, Third World War. How can we win over that? Can you imagine about that? Okay, one more slide.
The number one task in the post-Cold War era. What good will economic prosperity and political freedom do a society if it is unable to resolve the issues that cause all its families to live in agony? Humankind has come to a point where it has to find a teaching that protects and uplifts family values and a method to put such a teaching into practice. In the post-Cold War age, we need to protect and uplift family values. This is the most important message that I would like to give to you journalists who are participating today, representing all journalists around the world.
Thank you, Heavenly Honey. Humankind has come to a point where it has to find a teaching that protects and uplifts family values and a method to put such a teaching into practice. In the post-Cold War age, we need to protect and uplift the family values. That's why I think, what's the solution? The solution is the blessing. And conclusion is a blessing. Whatever you do, you are working in media, Women Federation or Family Federation, whatever you do, conclusion is promoting blessing value. Blessing value is everything, actually. Blessing value. Blessing is a salvation. Promoting individual value, family value, society value, like universal value. Wow. That's why if everybody receive the blessing, they understand value of the blessing, then we can settle down any problems. Today's Father's word, the leader humankind is honestly longing for. I love this title. Please, Heavenly Honey, read.
The leader humankind is earnestly longing for. Who is humankind searching for, longing for, and desiring to meet? It is a leader who can feel this world through their heart, who can introduce happiness, peace, and freedom to us. This is what humankind needs. If there is a person who can point the way in the right direction to us, with such a heart guiding us in our path of life, then he would be a true leader. What I am trying to say to you is that this world is in need of a person who can walk this path of life with such a heart.
Wow, I'm really touched by Father's word today. Father said, who is humankind searching for, longing for, and desiring to meet? So the Father said, it is a leader who can fill this world through their heart, who can introduce real happiness, real peace, and real freedom to us. If there is a person who can point the way in the right direction to us with such a heart, guiding us in our path of life, then he would be a true leader. My brothers and sisters, all human beings long for the artistic able, artistic leader. Isn't it true? They are looking for a leader of heart. Everybody searching for artistic leader. All human beings are looking for the parents of heart, the husband and wives of heart, and the teacher of heart, the able of heart, the king of heart, the brothers and sisters of heart, the couple of heart, the friend of heart, the children of heart. In the end, there is a joy and happiness only when connected with the world of heart. That's why science, even not just only about the human being. And Father talking about that's why science is becoming science of heart, philosophy is becoming philosophy of heart, and theology is becoming theology of heart, art is becoming art of heart. The world of creation is also looking for a main character of heart. Who is God? He's a artistic vertical parents. Who are true parents? They are the artistic horizontal parents. In that sense, how artistic am I? I always reflect on me. Artistic means not just only emotional. Understand what I'm talking about? How artistic am I as a leader, as a husband, as a wife, as a children, as a brothers and sisters, as a Abel, as a Cain? How artistic am I? A artistic person always gives to others, always serves others, always try to live for the sake of others, always sacrifice for the sake of others. When they see something wrong with others, they always try to take responsibility and protect them. We call that kind of person is a artistic figures, artistic able. I really reflect on my own self. I become artistic father in front of my children. They can say proudly, my father is an artistic father. My wife can testify that you are truly my artistic husband. My parents can say to me, you are really my artistic child. You are filial son. My member can testify that, hey, Dr. Yong, you are truly artistic able. They can say that. I really need to repent. I really need to reflect on that. Everybody looking for artistic person, artistic able. A artistic person always has tears and is always humble. A artistic person always longs for people like crazy. Wow. Fathers were really touching my heart as a leader, as a continental director, as a Cain. You know, what kind of person I am. Today's youth ministry, how can we get rid of the sin that reigns in our body? Relate to yesterday's topic. How can we get rid of the sin that reigns in our body? Sin reigns our body because even if you try not to commit sin, you cannot help it. Even if you hate it, you end up committing sin. Even if you are suffering, you will sin. Mankind was conquered by the king of death and sin. And our bodies could not escape from its sovereignty. Therefore, it is the responsibility of believers to chase away this power of death that reigns in my body and offer my body back to God. Fallen nature causes humans to express emotions centered on their own bodies. So we are easily offended and saddened, distressed, resentful, complain, and worry. Because of the human body is an instrument used by Satan, it is centered on the desire and self-interests and of the flesh, and acts as an instrument of injustice again and again. The way to get rid of Satan is to find my original self and return to God. In other words, I must offer myself as God. Yesterday, I emphasized again and again. To get rid of the sin, you need to first of all, what your attitude? Your attitude should be, I belong to God. My body belong to God. Treat myself as God's own. Treat myself as not my own. No. Treat myself as God's belonging. Life of faith begins from self-denial. How to deny? I am not mine. I belong to God. Self-denial means what? My brothers and sisters, self-denial means completely kill myself. I do not exist. My fallen self, I do not exist, my own fallen self. Completely kill myself. 100%, 120%. In front of my wife, I need to completely kill myself. I do not exist. Whatever she wants, except chapter 2, I agree everything. I will follow everything. I obey everything for my wife. Killing myself. What is the filial piety? Filial piety means killing my own desire, my own interest, completely killing myself. Follow absolutely parents' desire. That is an offering, historical offering. What is a good Cain means what? Good Cain, even though he's an own opinion, maybe better opinion, more better principles, but completely kill myself. Then, even though Abel give wrong direction, but as long as you completely kill yourself, God directly intervene your Abel. If Abel is wrong, then God directly teach him. Don't go that way. Don't guide your member like that. This is the power of the self-denial. That's why I treat myself, I belong to God. Completely kill myself. Why there is this unity between husband and wife? Because insist on my own opinion. You are wrong, I am right. If you kill yourself, how can you easily feel lack of love? How can you easily feel sad? Who allow you to be sad? You are offering. You cannot say anything. Killing yourself completely. This is the way to make unity between husband and wife, between Cain and Abel. Do you think I am right? Do you think you are wrong? This kind of concept, this kind of the mindset, I am telling you, you cannot create eternally unity. Cannot. Completely need to kill, especially the relationship between husband and wife. If you obey to your spouse, your husband and your wife in such a way with the heart of the God, I am telling you, everybody conquer your spouse's heart. Certain time period. If you practice certain time period, completely surrender. That's why whenever I go back home, I'm thinking, I am terrible husband, terrible father, terrible, father in front of my children. That's why I'm thinking that how can I become humble now? Whatever they want. Without talking, how can I serve them and loving them? That is my job. Wow, that's not simple one, but no other way. In front of God, completely need to kill myself. To save my body from sin, I must fix my habit up to this day. This body that used to listen with the ears and see with the eyes, being used to recklessly, all the while being subject to the environment, saying, I am upset, I am sad, I am resentful. We need to change our bodies from instruments of injustice back to instrument of justice. That's why, need to separate from the thinking. This is righteous thinking or evil thinking. Before you thinking about the righteous thinking or evil thinking, you treat yourself as God's belonging. This is the first step. I need to treat myself. I am not mine. I belong to God. And secondly, any thinking come, then need to separate this is righteous or not righteous. And they need to choose righteous. And then need to practice according to righteous thinking. Then our body become instrument of justice and righteousness. First, we must distinguish between righteousness and unrighteousness. After distinguishing, you must fight injustice. You need to practice it. You must treat yourself as God's belonging. Only through this way, we can get rid of the sin completely. Thank you, my brothers and sisters. 감사합니다.
Thank you very much, Dr. Yong, for extensively revealing the role and the importance of media, as well as by being able to completely get rid of our own egos and our fallen natures, then we can be closer to God and truly become more heartistic brothers and sisters. And with that, let us go into our breakouts to be able to share with one another our insights and inspirations that we're able to receive through Dr. Yong's guidance. And if you're joining here by yourself, then please take this time to reflect deeply on the message. So let us go into our breakouts. Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I hope you had a great time sharing with each other your inspirations and takeaways and insights. And to share first, I'd like to invite up Mrs. Mutsuko Moore. Mrs. Moore, if you can please unmute yourself and share at this time.
Good morning. I was sharing about media, importance media, and recently I watch, of course, everybody watch news every day to just know what's going on in the world. And I've been watching about what's going on in Afghanistan, and so many lives are in danger, and what's going and all the sacrifices were made in the past was almost in vain, and a lot of still people suffering, and news about Haiti and hurricanes coming, all kinds of news. And so we have to know, we have to understand. And then I was kind of depressed. But this morning I was watching HJ Global News, and I had to watch this kind of news, so much like positive thing, happening, but nobody, the main media not showing at all. So I have to use my like a social media platform to show what's going on in God's side. All the medias are mostly NBC, ABC, CNN, whatever. They are satanic side. So Satan used regular media to spread their side of news. So we have to, when I watch HJ Global News, it's only like 500 views, So I was, oh my gosh, this we have to spread the positive news. Others people just listening, yeah. So.
네, thank you, 무츠코-상. 감사합니다.
Thank you, Mrs. Moore, for sharing. And next, I'd like to ask Mrs. Erina Ntamik. Mrs. Erina, if you can please share at this time.
Yes, good morning, Dr. Yong. Morning, everyone.
Oh, Erina, how are you?
I'm fine, Dr. Yang. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, actually, my sharing today, I'm a little not so sober. I attended special breath work yesterday and today, so I had to wait because I didn't want to miss morning devotion. And surprisingly, at 5, I had we have a Hondoke reading, brothers and sisters, and actually my portion of reading was almost the same as Dr. Young's message about two fathers focusing on education and giving real material, real moral value education, other than just publishing books for the sake of making money. And in two fathers' message, he was saying that it doesn't matter, it doesn't mind how much it costs, so long as it gives you proper education and really good materials for students. And actually, in that message, Father was aiming having an international university in all the different continents. So I was really impressed how it collided with Dr. Young's message. And of course, personally, I don't watch news because too much negative, only maybe flashing headlines. I really focus on either Hondoke, mainly positive materials. So I'm really, really grateful for two fathers' words that help me to be aligned and step by step, of course, erasing all the other negative materials that come around. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yasutaka, Yasu.
Yeah.
Please let's invite Tom McDavid. Yesterday I invited him, but he was not there. Let's invite our Tom McDavid. I don't know today he's here or not.
I'm right here, Dr. Yong. Thank you.
Okay, Tom
Thank
McDavid.
you so much.
Yeah.
Dr. Yong, yesterday at this time, I was speaking representing the International Media Association for Peace in Europe. So during morning devotion, I was, my whole focus was in Europe with a very successful ILC. So I watched the recording. Thank you so much for teaching us and reminding us of True Parents' incredible commitment to changing human civilization with the media power.
Yeah.
And of course, Dr. Yong, I'm so happy to announce to have this group is so special, as we all know. And you know, in 2009, True Father, when we were going through very great difficulties with UCI, and the Washington Times was right on the edge. I was the president at the time. And True Father established what he called a board of directors. It was a board of advisors of 430 Blessed Central families, primarily starting with UTS graduates. I was just looking for that list. I think we need to revive that tribe of members who are committed to the vision that you just articulated. And secondly, Dr. Yong, next year, 2022, we know True Mother set a flag in the ground for the Heavenly Unified Korea 2022 and 2023 Heavenly Unified Peninsula in the world. So this is a very dramatic goal. Who can imagine that kind of thing, let alone what kind of programs? But in 2022, we will have the chance together with this group. The morning devotion group as a core is the 40th anniversary of the founding of the Sacred Washington Times.
Yeah, right.
May 17th. So brothers and sisters, let's build a tribe of Washington Times subscribers in every congressional district. Mother said, not only build your tribe, your heavenly holy community, but multiply the tribe. Every member on the tribe creates a tribe. That's 430 squared. 430 times 430. I proposed, I prayed to God, and God answered me. Advance the 430 to 435 congressional districts. Let's build a tribe of Washington Times citizens who are driven by the value perspective Dr. Yong just articulated, which is True Father, True Mother's words.
아주.
I'm so excited, Dr. Yong. I love you. I love everyone. Let's move forward. Good luck today.
Yeah. 아주. Thank you. Tom McDavid.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. McDivitt, for the exciting updates and news. And of course, brothers and sisters, thank you all for sharing your insights and takeaways and on what's on your mind. And as we continue to move forward, let's continue to share these incredible ideas and inviting brothers and sisters to join in morning devotion, because just as we just heard Mr. McDivitt said, like, this is the place, this is the core of what we can do in moving the providence of not just America, but the entire world, because of our incredible role as the Elder Son Nation. So invite your friends, invite your brothers and sisters to join a morning devotion, whether it be on Zoom, YouTube, or Facebook Live. And at this time, also, if you can turn your attention towards the chat, there is a link to the donation page, which helps this morning devotion effort to continue moving forward. So we appreciate every and any kind of donation that you offer with a heart of gratitude. So thank you, brothers and sisters, for your incredible sharing. And for our musical offering for today, I'd like to invite up our dear brother, Mr. John Kirkley. So Mr. Kirkley, if you can please unmute yourself and share at this time.
I'm still muted. Okay. I don't see my picture.
Oh, John, what happened? No picture, why?
Yeah, let me. Wait a minute. I don't know why.
Yeah, I see.
There we go. Does that work?
Yeah. No, I cannot see you. But anyway, just go. Oh, now, okay, it works. Wow.
Whoa, it's me. It's my wife's husband. So I have another song for Dr. Yong, but first there's a short story. I spent 7 years in Austin, Texas, getting my master's in philosophy and my law degree. Many experiences, many professors, lots of study. Spent a summer working with the Austin, Texas Police Department. Many friends, many travels, many adventures. And when I left Texas, after 7 years, to drive about 1,200 miles to Atlanta, Georgia, my hometown, I had a remarkable experience halfway, almost exactly halfway between Austin and Atlanta. I started singing Red River Valley over and over and over for about 20, 30 minutes and crying because I was leaving. I was leaving all my friends, all my experiences, and going God knows where. Now, after 13 years teaching in China, I've spent the last 7 years here in Bridgeport, Connecticut. And Wednesday, God willing, I'm leaving for Africa. Wednesday night, 11 o'clock, I leave Kennedy. Thursday disappears in the air. And Friday morning, I'll have breakfast in Nairobi. And Sunday, next Sunday, my birthday, August 29, I'll have my birthday in Africa. So I have a very special song.
Wow.
A song of parting, but I have to put on my costume. This is actually a Stetson. From this valley, it's very sentimental, even schmaltzy. From this valley, they say you are leaving. I will miss your bright eyes and sweet smile, for they say you are taking the sunshine that brightened our pathway a while. Come and sit by my side if you love me. Do not hasten to bid me adieu, but remember the Red River Valley and the cowboy who loved you so true. For a long time, my dear, I've been waiting for the words that you never would say. And alas, my poor heart, you're breaking, for they tell me you're going away. Come and sit by my side if you love me. Do not hasten to bid me adieu, but remember the Red River Valley and the cowboy who loved you so true. Won't you think of the valley you're leaving? Oh, how lonely, how sad it will be. Won't you think of the fond heart you're breaking and the grief, the jockstrong you're causing to me? Come and sit by my side if you love me. Do not hasten to bid me adieu, but remember the Red River Valley and the cowboy who loved you so true. I have promised you, darling, that never will a word from my lips cause you pain. And my heart, it'll be yours forever if only you come back again. Come and sit by my side if you love me. Do not hasten to bid me adieu, but remember the Red River Valley and the cowboy who loved you so true.
Wow.
Arigato.
Thank you, John Conkley. Thank you. Safe trip Africa. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kirkley. for not just singing, but really sharing your heart, a precious song that's close to your heart. So thank you so much. And of course,
beautiful song. Thank you.
Yes, Aju. And with that, brothers and sisters, to be able to close out this incredible morning heart devotion experience for today, I'd like to invite up Miss Kotone Narifusa to offer the closing prayer. So Miss Kotone, if you can please unmute yourself.
Hi, good morning. Thank you.
Oh, Kotone! Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
Please join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Parents, your parents, and Jesus, good morning. We are all gathered here today, this Sunday morning, again, to really put you first and to listen to you and have open ears and have this willingness to come closer to you in your heart. We've learned so much this morning and understanding more deeply about the current situation and having so many resources, Heavenly Parent, like this platform and also all of these other resources such as media to be able to truly share your heart and share your truth with all these people around us. So we really want to lean into that during this time especially, and lean into each other and lean into your words, Heavenly Parent. We're so grateful for this opportunity, another day of life, and to be healthy and to be able to learn so much through everybody here. And in this world, in this physical world, our purpose is to truly grow our hearts, and our hearts is all that matters. And you're just waiting for somebody to accept that and to be able to have great give and take with you. And so as children of you, Heavenly Parent, I hope that we never forget our origin and where we come from, and that there's always a way back to you and your heart. And to be able to reverse what was lost in the very beginning of the fall. And there's always hope to come back to you. So I'm just really grateful for everyone here, and for Dr. Yong, and for so much sacrifice and all of the first gens that are here and are able to continuously give us that foundation to stand on. And hopefully we can do better every day and, make you proud. So I'd like to conclude my prayer this morning in my name, Kotone Narifusa, daughter of Hiroshi and Toshiko Narifusa of Blessed Central Family. Aju.
Aju. Thank you, Kotone Narifusa. 감사합니다. Have a nice day.
Thank you for that prayer, Kotone. And with that, brothers and sisters, thank you so much for joining today's Morning Heart Devotion. And of course, don't forget to tune in to National Family Service. And I wish you that you have a happy, healthy, and victorious day. Thank you, everybody. And thank you, Dr. Yong.
Thank you. Happy Sunday.
Thank you.
Happy Sunday, my dear brothers and sisters.